Navigating the Heart. Who is Dragging You? By Ock Soo Park. Chapter 3. Self-Control. Your ability to control yourself is the safety device to freely utilize your youth. People today who live having lost the ability to contemplate. When people don't have the ability to control themselves, they try to live according to their own will. Then, after they make a few mistakes, they begin to think about how wrong they were. Why did I yell that time? Why was I so narrow-minded? How did I make that decision without seriously thinking it through? There are many people who have such regrets, but if we live our lives however we want, only pain and regret will remain. We have to first think deeply and nurture the ability to control our desires. Nowadays, everyone is so busy that there is no time or room to think deeply about anything. And through the advancement of the entertainment business, TV and computer games, people only reach the first level of thought. They are unable to get to the second level of thought. A long time ago, the people of China and Korea enjoyed playing Chinese chess. There was competition between the Han dynasty and the Chu dynasty. In this game, there is the king, the advisor that protects the king, the chariot, the cannon, the horse, the elephant, and the regular soldiers. These two nations battle on the chessboard, and as they play, the two players must think deeply. When the enemy's elephant comes forward, you must start to think, why did it come forward? It's going to get killed by the chariot. He has a cannon behind this piece waiting to strike. This is how players think as they play the game, move by move. They try one strategy and then they try a different one. When each player thinks deeply about what his or her opponent will do, then there is the mental or psychological fight. It even comes to the point where others watch thinking, where are the two chess players? Why are the chess pieces not moving? If you mindlessly play chess according to how things appear in your eyes, then you will quickly fall victim to the trap that the enemy has set up for you. You must first observe the plan of the enemy and then act accordingly. Julio, the drug addict that I spoke about in the first chapter, did drugs for 20 years, but he did not think deeply at all. Without any thought, whenever he would get money, he would do drugs. While living like this, he ate a spoiled piece of bread one day and fell into a thought. How did I ever become a drug addict? Why do I live like this, unable to eat food that is good? I just live as a lonely man without ever owning my own car or house. If he had just a few dollars, he could buy and eat warm food. Since he spent all his money on drugs, he found himself picking out the spoiled bread from the trash. For the first time in his life, he began to realize just how pathetic he was. If I become ill, then who will take me to the hospital? If I die, who will mourn for me? Thinking about the situation that he was in is what helped him to truly understand how pitiful he really was. Had Julio not thought deeply about this, he would have lived the rest of his life as a drug addict, and that is how his life would have ended. After thinking deeply, a completely different heart entered him. That heart changed his life. When he re-entered rehab, it was only then that the words of the counselor began to enter his heart. He followed the words of the counselor and was able to break free from drugs. We need to monitor our children's recreational activities as well. While it is important to allow young children to play hard outside, we must also have them develop the ability to reason through games that make them think. In Tetris, if you place the falling pieces in the correct angles and empty slots, then those perfectly filled lines disappear. That's the kind of game it is. At first, the shapes are coming down slowly, so it is easy to fit them into the spaces without any gaps or empty slots. Later on, though, they pour down like rain, and you have no time or space to think at all. Your hands have to move according to your instincts. These days, you cannot think deeply to play games. You have to just react quickly with your senses. But when you play such games for a long time, it deteriorates your ability to reason. It is along these lines that TV has been called the idiot box. If I say this, some people may say, "How can you say such a thing? Do you know how much we can learn from TV?" It is true that you can get a wide variety of information and knowledge through television, but it keeps us from being able to think deeply. Think about it. When you are reading a difficult book and you don't understand its meaning, you have to read it 2 or 3 times in order to understand it. But with television, even though you change the channel abruptly, if you watch for only 5 minutes, you can understand the storyline. You don't have to think about it deeply. You can understand it while you eat. Even though you wake up in the middle of sleeping, half awake, as you watch the television while rubbing your eyes, you can still understand everything. There is no one who strains the brain trying to understand television. So when you watch television often, it may be fun, but because you are only dealing with things that are easily understood, it continually weakens your ability to reason. Later on, you end up turning into a person who cannot think. When you cannot think, whenever you face things in life, you just run into it thoughtlessly without detailed preparation. You just try it and see what happens. People like this often end up falling onto the wrong path.